welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack Open live from DreamHack Summer. We're well on our way to getting a winner out of our first matchup of the day here between North and the Red Reserve, with North taking control of our first map on Nuke, big surprise, Danish team, and the second map, Overpass, going, by the way, just now, the Red Reserve, which takes us to our third and final map over on Mirage.
Yeah, Mirage is going to be interesting. North right now on a 7-map win streak on Mirage, so Red Reserve definitely has the work cut out for them, but on the other hand, like, they look pretty solid going onto Overpass, and we expected this. The question is, can they keep this rolling? Is what they have in the tank enough to break North? And this would literally break North, as Pim said. Like, he's banking his money on if they drop out of this tournament, there's going to be replacements. And I'm not going to directly agree with him, but that something definitely needs to change if they drop out of this in this kind of sense. So, Red Reserve with a big chance here, but this is also a map where they only, in quotation marks, have the 54.8 win percentage in their general play, so this is not one of their best maps, to say the least.
Still on Mirage, though, things tend to be, especially in European matchups, tend to be relatively even across the board, so I would not discount any win percentage from the Red Reserve as any indicator about whether they're going to take this match or not, especially after the result from Overpass right there, where we had a victory just a couple of weeks ago pretty handily in the favor of North at another LAN, and then they dropped the ball this time around.
They definitely improved Red Reserve on Overpass. The question is, can they improve their general structure on Mirage? And as you say, it is, especially in Europe, it is the more freestyle PUBG map, so anything can happen. And stats don't always tell the full story.
Absolutely. So we're going to be jumping into it, guys, in just a couple of moments here. I think we have to get 1 or 2 more players connected to the server, and we will be good to start the match. Red Reserve, of course, a great chance to cause an upset here and make some noise at the very minimum if they are going to be able to take control of this full best-of-3 series, being the team to knock out North this early on and then clear a pathway into the playoffs. Could be a good future for the Red Reserve, even in just these next couple of days, to see how far of a run they can make it in this tournament.
Definitely. North favorites to win the tournament, many said before, and now they're in the elimination game. Optic have kind of taken their place with their easy road to the semifinals, so in that sense of taking over, North still needs to bounce back. Players are giving the last fist bumps, and that signaling that we're almost ready to go jump into Mirage.
So let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Final map of our first series of the day between North and the Red Reserve. Winner will move on to another best-of-3 later on, and the loser, well, sadly, they're going to be our first team eliminated from DreamHack Summer. Let's get into it.
First smoke does land in the window. That's the one from T-Spawn. Hampus will be blocked out completely. We'll fire a few shots at the pre-fire position, but change is pretty much just equal. Disco Doppler on the edge of this, but they're going to run through Connector North.
Moving in, MSL. Oh, Brolon shutting it down in response, but the kills are happening so quickly. North end up taking control of it, though, after the trade settled a little bit. Just Twist and Disco Doppler left for the Red Reserve, along with, of course, a site control going by the way of North, so the plant should be coming up just a couple of seconds, or at least we'd think that, but no, Twist surprises from inside of Ticket and denies the first opportunity at a plant. No
one's holding CT while the plant is going down. That's a big question mark for North. They were 3v2, and they gotta hold that CT. No busy clearing other angles, but luckily, Kirby with the flank, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem.
He knocks out one, he's got the second lockdown. This is when AZ can push forward, and he's gonna claim the second one. So North pick up the opening pistol of our third and final map and are now on their way with a 1-0 lead.
Heard a few cheers out there in the crowd.
Yeah, people are waking up now.
Nice to know. Also, like, against the Swedish team, obviously, you would expect the Swedish crowd to cheer for the Swedish team, which is always what you want. Like, home crowd is definitely what you want. But a few Danes seem to have made their way here. Very nice to see.
Those steps still throw me off.
Oh, God.
Skill ceiling removed. Wasn't the reasoning behind adding them was pretty ridiculous.
The wording was literally skill ceiling removed. It was so stupid. But another thing that isn't stupid is the push right now. Disco Doppler's position, though, on point, but will be shut down by the Mag 10 of Kirby. Twist already now rotating away. All these weapons, all this utility will be saved, brought into the next round, or at least they will try to. Twist is taken out. The scout has been removed. Weapon switched around. Kirby going defensive because he's going to save his weapon. Got to save that AK with a 1 HP, surely no other way. And then Valde is free to push out with the Mag 10.
Yeah, and the two members of Red Reserve obviously aren't going to be doing anything too aggressive here. Just fill back into the A site and are currently holding it. They've got everyone from North coming their way, though, because they want to drop these guns. But sadly,
nice shot from Hampus.
Red Reserve players are now in defensive positions. They catch Hampus on the way out, back down the ramp at least, and Brolon has been surrounded partially, but he's also given a headshot angle to knock out Kierby, and Mertz will finally catch the trade.
Kierby there, shaking his head a little bit. Felt maybe like too much went in the way of Red Reserve there. Shouldn't be allowed to get that many frags, but that's the way it is right now. 2-0. AKs will be purchased. MSL the only one with the MAC-10, and he'll be looking to farm frags here. As this is a complete eco, only one flashbang on Brolon, and it's going to be mid-pressure from the CT side.
Certainly throwing away quite a few crucial opportunities. Very minimal here. Oof, and another opportunity is going to go by the way of Red Reserve here as well, as North lose MSL early on at top mid.
Brolon?
Thankfully, the team will still get in, but Brolon, oh, that's so unfortunate. Had a great opportunity to at least cause a little bit of chaos here, but gets outright denied by Kierby.
DE-nied. This Mirage just keeps on tapping through, trying to find a frag. Twist is already low on HP, so it's not a bad shout. Spray through the wall, keeps it going. Hampus.
It always seems so hard to spam people through that plywood.
Yeah, you have to be very precise. Yeah. You can't really just like hold down mouse one and then spray control. You have to actually tap their head through the wall. Which is not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, not the easiest thing in the world when they're probably constantly moving after they get hit the first time.
So 2-0 will be 3-0. As the bomb will explode without any contestation from the CT side. Freddy B will get one with the MAC-10, but eventually shut down, and Kierby's shaky spray will be enough to finish things off.
Kierby, very much kind of the anti-eco king here, making sure that his team controls the situation, does not lose too many players, but that's the problem, is they still lost way too many players, in my opinion, for their anti-ecos. They lost 3 on the second round and 2 on this round, so their money is not going to be that great going into the opening gun round, and they really have to make sure that they win this in a satisfying way. Otherwise, Red Reserve could pretty easily force them onto an eco, and in fact, that is the case. Left there with a little bit of cash, enough for probably one forced rebuy, but after that, they would immediately be put onto an eco, like I said before.
Smoke's being set up for the B execute. The bomb is all the way on the other way, all the way on the other end of the map. That's not supposed to be said. And I am sure that this is going to be one player bait, and then the rest will be rotating to go in for the A split. Not even a one player bait, just utility bait to hold the CTs on the bomb site. Rotation does come in. Freddy be ready for it? No, he's not. Valde will shut him down, and Valde now into CT spawn though, will die off.
Hampus got to be careful as well. He's going to have a molly on his feet in a moment here, so quickly shifts his position to inside of the ladder room. MSL getting flashed out. Due to the ticket push, but Kierby manages that anyway, and now goes for the plant. Hampus still causing problems again. Gets a second kill on top of Cap before finally going down to AZ, leaving just Disco, Doppelin, and Twist in the fight now. Twist, of course, looking for that massive flank through T-spawn that I think is more than likely going to work as well. No
MSL,
one...
he's not
They're not checking for it, yeah.
Oh, he's going for it, but he's not. Now he's turned around. There was a timing window there for Twist, but he gets the frag anyways. AZ now all alone.
And with only 23 HP, it's not going to be the easiest situation in the world to clutch here. Just holds it to a passive angle. He'll chill here for as long as he humanly can before he's forced out and has to go for the denial on the defuse here. Molly goes a bit too deep, spots the first player. There's the opening kill and goes aggressively for the second. Succeeds in closing it out. Beautifully done by AZ and secures the opening gun round for North.
It was one of the things that we were talking about, the desk we're talking about as well. AC, his level, he needs to be on point, and he has been on point today. It's definitely not been down to him that we made it to map 3. If it was up to him, we probably wouldn't even needed a third map. And this time around, again, he shows it in a clutch scenario. Will force Hellraisers, not Hellraisers, Red Reserve. That's a way different team on the pistols.
Roland's still looking for a little bit of action downstairs over here, hoping he would get some players pushing him eventually. That might still happen. So his patience may eventually pay off here. Flash thrown against him, completely blinds him, and that's an instant counter.
Once again, like these small things where North just makes sure that they take 100% chances instead of 80 or 75 or 90% chances with that flashbang. There's no way the CT player can do anything in that duel. So they're just making sure they're checking every single corner. And that's a very methodical style of MSL showing.
So good control, especially with that underpass kill. Now we're going to go pretty handily in under the control of North themselves. Twist is forced out. Not a whole lot he can do with a USPS in that situation right there. All the pressure will now shift primarily to Disco Doppler, but thankfully for him, the rotates are coming pretty quickly too. So he's going to have some decent team support. Hampus dives in there for one pickup. It's only that one, though. One effect.
Yeah. Freddy now all alone will have that flank coming in as we have been following Valde for the last 10 seconds. And yeah, it is inevitable. He will get that frag in the end. And an even bigger lead coming in from North.
So North off to a swimming start here, picking up that first gun round due to a massive clutch from AZ, along with a couple messy anti-ecos, but that one's starting to look a little bit better. Now, though, they're going to be thrown right back into the flames, as here comes the second buy from the Red Reserve, and this time up on Twist, along with full utility. There's no more excuses anymore for the Swedish roster if they drop this one.
Last time North lost on Mirage was all the way back in the beginning of May in the online qualifier for Star Series. They lost to AGO 14-16, so that is 8 games ago. 7 of those games in a row have been wins. Looking to add another one to that.
And even that game is a full 30-round set as well, so that's could be a bit of a misnomer to some people, depending on how they look at it.
Full buy from both teams. Decent utility behind it on the CT side. It's not like they're missing a big amount of flashes. Missing some smokes here, only one left from Freddy B. That might be the only minus in their setup.
North once again, pretty much conflict-free control at mid. Ooh, aggressive on hunting down Hampus, though. He's got this back corner, which they apparently can't contest from the other side just yet. Valde will take him out, but Disco Doppler chucks in an aid from the other side and knocks at MSL for the damage that was done previously. Freddy tries to get aggressive too, but doesn't discount KRB's position, so he knocks him out. Disco Doppler will be able to find a trade while he's still inside of Cat, but it's at a heavy cost to his own health. He's now at 5 HP. For him, it's not looking like North are going to execute towards his site, so we will get a little bit of breathing room here. Still, it has pretty much completely eliminated him from taking any aggressive fight for the rest of this round.
Ooh, I don't think Brawlin's situation or position is known right now by the T side. AC will check it though. That's so nice that you check every single corner instead of assuming the side is clear. I've seen that so many times, even on pro teams. Good job by AC.
Twist as well, getting blinded at a pretty much the perfect opportune moment. They know he's back here now. They can start to counter out his position. One of the 2 remaining players, and really the only one that can take an active fight. Disco Doppler being found out, and now Twist with really no choice just forces himself into the open. Has denied himself of the opportunity to save by doing that too, and won't get taken out by Mertz to end the round.
Round will be over, and we'll go to North once more. Looking very solid. Wanting to show us that overpass, yes, it was their map choice, but we will be the champions of this one. 6-0. Red Reserve on another pistol round. Army behind it, yes. Single flashbang and some C-sets. It's not the worst buy in the world, but it's going to be very hard for them.
Yeah, Brolin already had gotten spotted on that first peak, so the second one is pretty obvious that the players on North are going to be ready for him at that point. Throws his life away on the opener. Good flash, but it doesn't affect Freddy B. Is going to be a very aggressive push that doesn't lead to anything, and even worse, the bomb gets dropped too, so they've got to force their way over to the steps position here. Hope that it can work out well for them. Freddy B finally going to be locked out, and thankfully for North, it doesn't end up going badly, but imagine if they were able to successfully hold that steps position, because they have the bomb down right there.
Disco Doppler also has an AK-47, so this is not over yet. Still a very low chance, but
yeah, the bomb still has not been retrieved as well. Yeah. Now that the smoke is gone, it's going to get that much more difficult to get it, but I'm pretty sure North is just playing this DM style at this point, just trying to knock out the last 2 players. Still have a minute left, so they're not under any massive pressure to get that thing onto the ground anytime soon, and Disco Doppler, I think, is already falling away to save anyway.
Yeah, that is the wise choice in this situation. One statistic, very custom, that I would like right now in this game is...
He's not actually saving, though. He's going for a flank, actually.
How big of a percentage of rounds are Red Reserve losing if Brolin dies first? Because I feel like I can at least count like 5 or 6 specific attempts where he's died off with no refrag potential, all on his own. Yes, 2 of them have been pistol rounds like this one, but it seems like if they can eliminate him first, if they are given the chance North, then that's a big, big advantage for them.
I haven't been keeping track personally. That sounds like it's like an HLTV stat guy
yeah, just
question.
call him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely not looking good for them, because Brawlin, he is the star of this Red Reserve team. And he has to be the difference maker.
We'll dive back into it. Still a flawless lead so far for North. But an 8th round, an even round again, gives us another buy from the Red Reserve roster. And this time, they sink the opening shot as Twist is able to knock out Mertz. And remember, they've also upgraded it. It's a double upset of this time as well.
That's what they needed. Good start to a round. Smoke will not allow Freddy B to know that 2 players have passed. AC with the boost. Kirby is going to be the one in the window now. They know that this area could be open. That's why they're rotating away from it, saying, okay, we're going to sell this area. Freddy B goes down. But now, total takeover on the A side, and this is not good enough. Twist is answering back, yes, and now Hampus is coming in. But still, the A side wasn't good enough, but it doesn't matter in the end because the retake, or the rotations, I should say, rather, coming in are perfect. That's good enough.
So Disco Doppler with a hard haul in this angle too. Oh, but he legs MSL, in fact. I think it's partially through a wall, maybe. Doesn't end up doing all the damage necessary to completely eliminate him. MSL gonna completely smoke off the area. The tracers from Twist, well, I guess there wouldn't be tracers in that case, knock him out, or at least the sound cue gives it away. So MSL will eliminate him, goes for the rushed plant, and it'll work out, even in that open position. Due to the smokes that he threw down just a moment ago. It's a good thing that there was one sitting on the floor. Oh, he's going for the barbar flank right now.
Okay, if they don't jump on the bomb right now, if they spend too much time checking angles, especially...
Is it positioned correctly for him to go all the way around, though, and just kill one from Cat, though? I think it might be a little bit too far to the left.
That depends on the diffuse position. Here, he'll be able to kill Hampus. Let's see, that's why they follow MSL. There we go!
And there we go, it works out perfectly. MSL knocking him out, trying to tap away. He hasn't found this target just yet, though, so the defuse is gonna happen anyway. Disco Doppler jukes MSL, gets out of his way, and finds it up for his troubles as well at the end of the round.
That's so nice by Disco Doppler. He reads that MSL knows where in the smoke he's probably gonna be diffusing, and he picks the other angle. Such a nice, small little detail that Disco Doppler just has on point. You can see MSL was spamming a specific position, and it was only for the last 2-3 bullets when he ran out. He was like, okay, I have to correct. That's not where he is anymore. Disco Doppler made the right choice.
Absolutely. And that will finally, of course, put Red Reserve onto the board here as well after 7 rounds straight, one in the opener from North.
Twist. Shuts down Kirby.
Red are getting a lot more confidence going here now, too. They're not afraid anymore to make those more aggressive plays, where previously Red were playing a very passive CT side for the most part.
And that's what they need. Like, Red Reserve are a team that they can go aggressive. They can go for this more like YOLO play. And when they can do that, they can disrupt the structure of North. And I think that's where they need to go in order to get Mirage. Freddy B on the other side of this. North just chilling out in mid, just waiting. Probably going to boost one window. And Freddy B has to watch 2 angles now. 3 angles, actually.
Panicked a little bit there, too. Couldn't figure out where the shots were coming from. Molly's going to go onto the ground. It does actually catch his teammate off a little bit there, too. But it's Twist next up to bat. Still so much in this site as well. And Twist just tearing them apart one by one with his op. Already up to 3 kills in the round. Likely to ace, but that's not going to happen because Hampus and Brolon pick up the last 2 kills instead. And the Red Reserve get their 2nd round.
It's so nice for Red Reserve that even though North are getting openings onto the A-bomb site, the rotations that are coming in, especially from Twist and the guy rotating into CT, they're just on point every single time. They can take those tools and win those tools. Twist starts it off and then rotates on, holds a long angle, picks up too easy.
Yep.
And that's how it is. Like, you have to be able to at least smoke off that connected position if there's an op on the opposite side, which they knew because Kerry died to that early in the round. So you have to know that's a factor.
And again, North taking a pause is pretty much exactly what it's necessary. All right, we had a great start. A little bit of inconsistency showing up with these 2 rounds picked up by our opponents, so let's figure out what exactly is going wrong before it becomes a major issue for us.
Yeah, I feel like if they add a little bit more pace, especially on their A executes, they might be able to trump them a bit because the rotations are what is the problem right now for North. If they just go straight into the bomb site with 1 or 2 entries, which they seem to be able to get every single round almost, then they might be able to get the bomb down and then get it to postpoint before the rotations from the other players come in. But let's see what they decide on. So far, it's mid-control. Set up for the B split. See if it goes that way. Mertz very aggressively with the ult towards B.
Just trying to go for a timing shot early on here, too, but no success. It's actually Mertz.
That's the B opening, and now that's going to be a wrap onto short. Hampus.
Good reaction, though, from him.
The flashback coming in from his teammate, I think, as well, was perfect.
Yep, and they have a crossfire now. The problem is they have no one to deny access out from apartments because they're positioning inside of market. You can see Twist going for the door position instead of window. That's a great peek from Twist, though. Just snipes out Kirby before he has a chance to do anything. Now he's looking for another target back by Archway. Oh,
that's unlucky timing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the timing didn't work out too well for Twist right there. But he didn't go past the cross either, so he's not allow them access to the site just as yet either.
Bomb can be planted. Molotov will land just to the right of him. Valde with one of Freddy B. Now 3v2. Valde comes in from the back. They have to worry about 2 angles now.
Valde on this back flank might have just sealed the deal right there because now they can play around in the site. Burlon at least opens the box up so he can escape and save, but he still has no way to get back in that site safely. He's got a lot of utility. It's maybe the one thing he is going for him right now, but the unfortunate part is he'll end up peeking right into Mertz's crosshair, giving him the final shot, and of course Mertz getting the MVP for that round there, picks up 3 very crucial kills, including the final one, to secure the round for North.
Yeah, the opening with an AWP onto that B bomb side, that's a very tricky entry to make, but Mertz makes it happen, and that's, well, I was talking about earlier when we were looking at Overpass as well, like his aggressive AWPing on T and CT side for that matter is what makes Mertz one of the better player in his position, why he probably might be in the end clearly the best choice for us, even though a lot of teams and people have been kind of doubting his spot on the team, but Valde, AC and Kirby all in unison against this, I can't really call it a force buy almost, like there's a scout, yeah, but 2 players on P250, so there's not a lot of money invested here.
So there we go. North just shut it down once again. A solid round for them with 4 players still standing. They'll build up their money in the long run. We're kind of getting closer to the end of the half here anyway, so just a little bit of money being built up is really all they need. Give them about 4 to 5K and they should be good for the long run. As the supplemental income from their won and lost rounds should be enough besides that.
This will be the full eco. 2 players on 34, a couple of players on around 2K, so money's not exactly aligned right now, but Red Reserve will allow themselves to get a double up setup on CT.
Mertz giving himself a good opening shot as Red Reserve try to push for that top mid pressure. Sadly fail at it, so they will have to quickly abandon that quest and go back down, holding inside of the connector, cannon all over mid, trying to be as much of a nuisance as possible essentially. But even that will prove hard to do because they try to establish aggressive positions. Well, it's exactly when North themselves push into mid and take control there. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up the remainders. Those steps players may be a little bit of a problem if they do decide to execute towards A, but even so, I'm not imagining anything that would turn the results of this round back to the other side.
Let's see, North wants to play now. I know they're up against almost no investment, so they want to make this a 100% chance round with 5 players surviving. And the choice seems to be the A execute. Kirby just clearing underpass, making sure that no one's going to come in the back and like get that easy kill on him, throwing away the AK. That seems to be the wise choice right now, as Hampus finds one though. As Kirby's rotating back, Hampus jumps out of the window and gets the easy frag onto him. Valde and the boys, AC now executing.
He's almost getting caught out there. Thankfully gets fine coverage in time, and now it's up to Valde and the rest to push through. Hampus at least doing a little bit of damage with the AK, but again, only losing 2 players. They've already got good money, so it's not going to be a problem, especially with there only being 3 rounds left at this point.
At this point, I'm pretty sure the money is almost... they're getting there slowly where they can just buy every single round from now on, but it's going to be okay for them. You can hear the Swedish crowd in the background. Always nice.
Yeah, they're
it's like
now.
Yeah, there are no other lands in the world, I feel like the DreamHack. And this is summer, like winter gets even crazier. That's a sick thing, right? Because this has already now been a crazy tournament, crazy event in general, and winter is just like even bigger.
So guys, the pause from Red Reserve going to be expiring here in just a couple of seconds, and we will be diving right back into it. Red Reserve, they need to come together right now. Only with 2 rounds on the board for themselves, and North already hitting double digits. They can't let this go to the worst case scenario and end up 13-2 for North. They need to try and win out these last 3 rounds and try to make it at least a competitive 5-10. As with only 2 rounds on CT side, I don't imagine their T side is going to give them too much room to breathe.
This is probably the best chance. Brawlan on the back of it, and now Execute coming in.
Brawlan already catching one of them as well. Tries to swipe in for a second, and he gets it before getting traded out by Mertz finally. North will take somewhat hesitant control of the A-bomb set. And look, a lot of chip damage being done through the smoke wall they'd set up. Valde now down at 6 HP after he finally gets the bomb onto the ground. Then AZ not much better at 40. North had to fall back and play incredibly passively now, which is going to let Red Reserve, for the most part, just walk right in for the retake.
Hampus still has that smoke, so if AC want to go for the Molotov play right now, which could be the case, it's going to be hard. They have the direct counter for that.
The utility, at least, is doing a great job of holding them back for a couple of extra seconds and making it look like they're way closer to the site than they actually are. Because with all these nades on it that have been thrown, it looks like North have a very active presence, but that is not the case. And Mertz, meanwhile, picks them off. Valde's going to run, though. He's running out of time. Does he stop it? No! The defuse goes off, and Hampus even drops Valde at the end.
Just jump on that bomb. The smoke goes down straight for the defuse. The 2 other players looking at different angles, making sure that no one can kind of punish it, and the rotation comes in, or the peak comes in from the connector too late. Too little, too late. That's Red Reserve will get round number 3 on the board. You said they needed to stop the possibility of a 13-2. They have done that now. And Zelda walking into mid.
This is my bit now. Takes full control. He's got to be careful, though. Yeah, the Tracer spam coming out through the smoke makes it very easy for the player on the opposite side of Connector to figure out where he's at. Even worse now, Disco Doplin's become a problem for their players in mid as he knocked out Kierby, trying to hold a constant position at chair in mid.
Oh, it's still alive here on the bottom floor. Has Valde a bit above him and the rest of the T-team situated around the ramp. Taken out by Valde completely with the pre-fire. Molotov into the corner as well. They're not going to be able to finish the job, but they're going to be able to get the plant on the left north. Now it's up to Disco Doblin, Hampus, and Freddy B to retake this. And with the AWP on Doblin, it's going to be hard, but Hampus definitely don't want to shy away.
Hampus going to continue to find that impact, but now he's got a clutch, a 1v2 set before him. One's going to be easy, but that was the hard kill right there as he finds AZ. Now just got to lock down those 1 or 2 more bullets necessary to eliminate MSL. Problem being, though, that MSL has now changed up his position. I think Hampus realizes it. He's going to go play passively, knows MSL's on the prowl. He's eventually going to find that plan anyway. Tags it onto the ground and now jumps up. Hampus sees it, though, and shuts it down for the massive clutch and a 4K on the round overall.
Ice cold right now, Hampus. He's at a disadvantageous position because his teammate just went down, but he goes straight for the trade frag, and then he just keeps on delivering every single time. Like, he goes for a new duel. This is the first one. That's the trade frag for the AWP. And the secondary frag, and then he waits a bit, goes for that jump duel. It's perfection from Hampus right now. That every single duel he takes the right angle, the right timing. So nice to see.
Forlon, can they try to play a little bit close to the chest this time? He jumps up on top, but he will be caught out. However, I guess it works out. He kind of finds a trade as he gets AZ in front of Valde and leads to a team kill that way.
Nice double man stack in connector. Both will peek out and Mertz goes down. Almost without a fight. Kirby now in position, but Hampus once again, no one's holding CT. He can rotate in freely. MSL on the big flank, but at this point,
it's more of a intel play more than anything.
Exactly. The bomb has rotated, so Valde will surely get this plant down, and they can play post-plant on that B bomb side. But only 2 players alive in MSL just with a deagle. I'd actually not have the timing. Oh yeah, they're gonna get it.
Red Reserve caught on to this, so MSL really has to hope that he gets a lot of players pushing his way through the kitchen here, but the problem is he's not gonna get that. He's gonna get at most 2. And now Valde's giving himself away. Tries to take the long-range duel on Cat, does not play out, and now MSL. What are you going to do here? Oh. Spots the window play, chooses not to engage on that, but they even had Twist watching out for MS on the event, and he was in that exact position. So nicely done as the players on Red Reserve cover all of their assets and do indeed get up to 5 as we end the first half.
Not too shabby from a situation where North looked at potentially a 13-2. Ending it as a 10-5 for Red Reserve is definitely the better scenario. Swedish fans, of course, in the crowd can be a bit happier with their team's performance as we head into the second half of this third map.
Got a good chance now to get back to the game, whereas 13-2 would have been, will ring the bells now, sadly. Yeah,
now it's just like 1 pistol round, conversion, and the first buy round, and then they're back in the game.
Still a very good half for North overall. It's not that wrong. North can still very easily just wash through this second half and get a 16-5 victory, especially if they take pistol and don't get ecoed second round. But with the 10-5 scoreline, Red Reserve have a much better chance of coming back into this game, especially if the momentum swings into their direction now at the start of the second half. But they need to start it off strong. They cannot lose the first 4 rounds in a row here and then try to run a comeback.
Definitely not. It's about to jump back into the fray. Will North be the one continuing, eliminating the Swedes from Red Reserve, or will it be the other way around? The home team here in Jönköping. Mirage, of course, the deciding ground.
Well, let's figure out if that is indeed going to be the case, as we do go back into the match now. Still around for both teams. North now on the defending side, and Red Reserve jumping onto the offense. Let's see if Red Reserve still have that fight left in them. Try and look for a bit of an upset victory after North took a massive lead at halftime.
Mertz already taking a bit of damage from the P250s in mid. 66 HP remaining on him. Only one kid on MSL. Has that smoke as well.
We're still trying to hunt for anything he can back in mid, but not a whole lot being found in that position just yet. It's actually a pretty passive opener from Red Reserve. They want to keep it quiet. They don't want to show their faces just yet, because they have a lot of players stacked up in the apartments, along with at least one or two trying to play towards mid, but I think most are going to burst outside of the apartments and just go for a contact play on B.
3 CT players on the B side at the moment currently. They have one rotated in. So if Red Reserve decide to go for this, which it looks like they will, they'll have 3 CTs, MSL here spearheading.
Red Reserve, here we go, jumping back out. Like you said, there's a massive stack here from North, so it's not going to be an easy task to get out on this site. Valde, I don't even know if he was noticed. Well, he is now, as he's the first to die, actually, from North's side of things. But besides that, North hold great control over the actual bomb site. MSL trying to avoid combat for as long as possible there, but does end up getting knocked out by Hampus eventually. The good news is, though, is that the majority of his teammates still are standing tall and strong, and Twist is left alone with only 12 HP because he took a fight earlier at mid and came out on the losing end of it.
That read from North was perfect. They knew what were coming their way, rotated 3 players onto that B-bomb, and that was more than enough to hold it. 11-5, and this is where it becomes really, really dangerous for Red Reserve. They cannot afford to lose one big round from now on.
No plan either, so more than likely it's just going to be a force buy in the second round for Red Reserve.
Yeah, the first buy round, when that rolls around, they have to win it. If they lose that, then it's pretty much done.
And since, unless this round goes the way of Red Reserve, since like 14-5 is nearly going to be a guarantee at this point, they have to be really careful, or at least 13-5, excuse me, is going to be a guarantee at this point. So they only have really 1 or 2 more major mistakes they can make.
Dangerous times in Sweden. Valde.
Very aggressive hold of mid right now. North do not want to give up control of that in these anti-ecos, so they take the initiative. They snuff the top mid pressure before it even becomes an issue. Hampus tries to compensate by looking for a trade with his Deagle out from Palace, but nothing is found there either, and he nearly loses his life. Brolon, okay. That somehow happens, though, as he works his way in. I assume from ladder, and now flips around to get a third kill, too. Red Reserve just bought their ticket back into the round, and it all is thanks to Brolon.
Brolon just seemingly able to find holes that no one else can find, and then the frags along with it. Such a complete player at such a young age as well. 2v3, this is very doable. Brolon in position to at least get the 4 kill as well. AC now off angle on A ramp.
He's still going to continue to hold into that position. So this is where it gets dangerous for North because of how to split up their players 1-1 across the map. MSL, I think, has caught the message that probably B is going to be left open. And A is going to be the site of choice. But because of AZ's position back down on ramp, he hasn't seen the full take just yet. And even worse, he's going to walk right up to him, knock him out for free. So there we go. The round is nearly secured now for Red Reserve. They'll have the free plant. They'll have their post-plant positions easily secured. It's all on MSL. And he's already got Brolon watching for his exact entry position. And there we go. An easy shutdown for Brolon and a nice 4K from him, as he obviously takes the crown for that round.
Yeah, that was insane by him. When they need his players to step up, when they need their stars to step up, he comes in, gets into the window, double opening with the CZ75, perfect spray control, switches up to the M4, tabs the other way around, and then with the final positioning kill. That is on point for the young Swede.
And so look at what it's done to North's economy now, too. He's completely broken it. Only had the 1 round built up, so obviously didn't really have a chance to go anywhere. They have to force into it, as we're going to be in a bit of a war between the teams now. North are going to try to upset themselves.
No real chance, but Twist on a scout to challenge him. Desert Eagle should not win out that duel. No damage being done just yet. No shots have been hit. Brolon will be coming in with an MP7, taking out Mertz. Slowly but surely diminishing the numbers on the CT side.
Hop is going to try to make his push forward through the apartments here in just a moment, too. MSL, along with Kirby, the 2 main stars defending this site currently for North. So pretty much perfectly positioned smoke. This is going to give MSL the room he needs to get forward. But this is still a position that's checked quite regularly.
Not sure if he made that without a sound.
I think he made noise when he jumped up. from Van.
But now Kirby's playing the bait right now.
Oh, but look, MSL's just going to dive right back in, but he missed the note on Disco Doppler. Thankfully, Kirby's able to trade that back, and he gets one more in addition to it before finally being taken down by Twist. Now everything is going to fall to AZ in the 1v2 scenario. He's just going to dive right out, and sadly misses the position from Twist in the corner, which will secure the round for the Swedes.
Red Reserve edging themselves back into the game after a rough start on Mirage. Things are looking a bit brighter now. And AC, the exact opposite of that. 11-7. Full eco for North. This should be a walk in the park.
Yeah, so now Red Reserve has pretty much won the early portion of the half here. They're going to get the couple of free rounds together. North's full eco, which I don't expect to be too successful for them. Meaning that more than likely we'll be looking at an 8th round for the Red Reserve, unless something goes horribly wrong.
All setting up towards CT spawn. Disco Doppler.
Oh no.
Oh. Here they come.
Oh my goodness.
Already now a good round.
Oh boy.
But the flank coming in from Hampus, surely this is going to win the round for Red Reserve.
Surely, right? And there we go. Picks up 2 kills. Runs out of ammo for the 3rd.
Hey.
Oh, he's going for some style on this one too. Hampus is having fun now. The 360 flip around and the triple shot on the Glock to get the last kill.
2 USP frags will be all she wrote for North. But still, like 2 USP frags on a full eco, that's not too bad. You destroy some economy for the opposition. Take some weapons away. That 360 jump, that was nice. I like that. Now comes the buy. This is the round. If Red Reserve take this, they have a legit chance of coming back and taking this map.
Man, look at Freddy. Oh my goodness, Freddy. Freddy is just diving in. Brolog's getting entry kills all the while, by the way. So look at this. He's just going to run through. No one will be any the wiser that he's in the site. But he has not had to do anything. His actions have been completely unnecessary so far. However, this is where he jumps in, as now he's going to be able to completely knock out Valde, sees the window player. It's a great reaction from Kirby, though, to get out into mid very quickly to make sure that he also does not fall to that. And at the very minimum, it keeps things even now at a 3v3.
Planted. AC missing the spray. Disco Doppler rotating down to play A ramp. Kirby coming in with an M4 of his own.
Yeah, there's no way Kirby would have caught that if he even had time to look at him.
He has the high ground.
Pretty much. Star Wars rules apply. So now just down to MSL 1v3. Trying his best to do anything he can, but more than likely going to shift past the crawl space, get himself into market, and look for a save, as Red Reserve are going up to 9.
Not far away now. Breathing down the neck of North at this point. Even though they had such a good start, the Danes, the Swedes have been the ones to bounce back. MSL will get it to go, but that is close.
Just to knock him out at the very least, so gets the kill going. A little bit more damage against the Red Reserve economy. Granted, not a massive amount, but keeps them from building 10k plus in every player, and that's what you really want to avoid here.
Not going to be the force buy from North. Maybe bringing weapons into the next one. So unless MSL does something crazy, it should be rather easy for Red Reserve to get it on the line. No AWPs on the T side this time around, signaling that they want to end up in a high-pace execute. But MSL on that B-bomb side, it was Sprawling last time around when he was on the CT side. This time around, it's MSL.
Oh, this smoke is not perfect in any way, shape, or form. He's able to use it anyway. Nearly knocks out Valde. It's AZ. That snuck out next, though, is now they're down to 3. But Hampus finally turns his team's luck around, finding Kirby trying to sneak up on them from outside of the B halls. Trades him, bringing North down to just 4.
Hampus, some utility behind it. No smokes on the T side at all. Molotovs, yes.
Check out Twist. Oh my god, they're both going to walk past each other.
MSL, surely.
Oh my god, MSL didn't get the...
Okay.
Valde got it, so... Disaster averted, but Hampus with just as impressive of a shot. Valde's still a problem, though. Picks up one more from the bench. And now Freddy B is looking at a 1v2 clutch.
AC does have that M4. Mert's only on 7 HP and a USP, so he's going to be the bait in this scenario.
Knows where they both are now, so Freddy B has the lockdown, has the intel that he needs to play this. We'll start the plant. No utility to play off of, sadly, so just relying on himself. That AK to close out this round as he goes to the back site. He's going to give North the room they need to get out of market at the very least. Spots the first player, and the repeat gets him the kill. Now it just needs to find AZ. In the meantime, is snuck outside and is on this site lurking, looking for Freddy. The same thing is true of Freddy, though. Freddy's got a great position right now, moves away from it, but he's wasting time, and that's all he really needs to do at this point.
So well played.
Completely out-rapping them. They haven't even seen each other yet, and when they finally do, it's a masterclass from Freddy as he shuts him down without a single bullet responding in kind.
Freddy B was so on point. He made every single decision correctly in that clutch. And the players who can keep their cool in a situation like this, yes, he hits an insane jump shot, but everything apart from that was just perfect. And those players who can keep their cool, they're so valuable for a team when grinding back those rounds. And that's another thing that I feel like North are missing, like players who will keep their consistency when they're getting pressured. I feel like at least 3 of the 5 North players will lose a bit of level, but AZ...
Best part about this, I never even saw the second guy, too.
Yeah.
So if there were more players on ramp, that could have been even more crucial. Mertz, speaking of crucial things, the crucial miss there, though, had the potential to really hamstring Red Reserve's defensive play this time. Can still do it, but the play from Kirby allows Freddy B to work his way out. Roland also strikes gold by knocking out Mertz, and now Hampus adds to the equation as well as he picks up Valde on top of the steps. AZ tries his best to flip it back around, but no, can only go 1 for 1, leaving everything on MSL.
Maybe Molotov onto the side? Let's wait and see. No, MSL is gonna wait a bit. Has a lot of utility. Has an idea where the opposition is hiding.
He's got completely bamboozled, I think. Because they hid, they didn't even plant, but look, now he's going for a full rotate towards B. They didn't even leave the site.
That's a good question. Or maybe he's just going for the giant flank.
No, I'm pretty sure he's rotating.
Yeah, yeah.
Or watching for them, at least. Yeah.
That's not the case, though. Like, they're not going to go that way, at least.
So Red Reserve finally recommit. They're very patient, waiting for a good 30-plus seconds. You really can't even fault MSL for falling for that.
And now he's coming from the big flank.
I have a feeling this might be expected, though.
You might be right. Freddy B up in Palace.
Yeah, he's already watching for a flank from Palace, so surely they've got to be considering one from ramp as a possibility, too.
MSL, though, 1v2.
He's got a lot of utility as well, MSL does, but he wants to avoid you. Ooh, he's going for the full-on sneak. Walks right in, but Hampus gets the spot. Thought he was going to be sneaky, but unfortunately, Hampus gets the better of him.
That's a few rounds in a row now for Red Reserve. A few clutch-esque scenarios as well. Gonna be very hard for North to kind of step back mentally in this. Only gotten 1 round in the second half. Remember, they did win that halftime 10-5. Now they're on C sets. It's all tied up 11-11. Red Reserve ready to take the lead after a long hiatus.
Kirby finding at least 1 trade as he sneaks in through underpass, but it's a small gesture as the T's take full control of mid and also were able to knock out Mertz in the process. Now they can just line up, start to move towards an A execute. And right now, they move into the site pretty much conflict-free. It's just AZ defending. If that's going to change in the next couple of seconds, and not only are we going to get that, but we're also going to get a little bit more aggression from North and mid, too. We can see Kirby had a great position. That surprising element is now gone, and even worse.
Roland.
Oh my God, Roland. Just rips them to shreds. Disco Doppelin finding a quick kill and connector, too. Leaves just AZ in the fight, 1v4. He was hoping they'd execute on him, but he'll take the fight at mid because the round's lost anyway. Twist sinks the final shot, and Red Reserve now take the lead. Only 4 away from map and series victory, knocking North out of the tournament.
And they have the momentum right now. Everything's going their way. They have the economy also. Brawlin is on point. Double frag, easily taking down that stack. And North in big, big trouble right now. A lot of people, me included, thought they would be the favorites to win this event.
Same for me.
Did look good coming into it. Win a tour, good placement at Star Series, in generally looking good. But today, Red Reserve are looking to be a worthy challenger.
Second pause now being used by North. Good timing on it as well, as this is when they're really going to start getting desperate now. They've lost the lead, so they really need to quickly figure out just what exactly is going wrong here. How to fix it within the next round or 2 before things get too far out of control.
No one allowed to peek early on with the ops. Twist will move its way in after the Molotov goes out. Just holding the angle for now. And oh, what a walkout peek. Mirage just destroyed.
Nicely done from Twist. Nothing that Mertz can do about that. Valde, oh, great flip from Valde on the response. But Brolon also trades him out as well, so it means very little in the grand scheme of things. We're still down to a 3v3. North have zero vision on the site to retake with. Kjærby, oh my goodness, Kjærby gets very lucky there, to be honest. Spams in and ends up knocking out Brolon in the process. It's a good thing that he was already low as well. And we're feeling able to sweat past that and still done some great damage to the 2 ticket players. Now Twist tries to challenge, and this is becoming bad quickly for the Red Reserve. Freddie B looking for the clutch, but he won't get it. And North stay alive as they tie us up again. Actually, no. I don't know, but they need to get someone with a kit on it. There we go. I'm pretty sure AZ got it in time. Maybe a little close to the wire, but they've got it. And they will tie us up at 12-12.
This game, back and forth, showed that, yes, each team can pick up their own map, but on Mirage, it's all fair game, and there's almost nothing between them right now.
Just get that little mic adjustment for North Coast.
He's done that 2 times now. It's like, AZ, we can't hear you, please.
We can't hear you perfectly. I need to. This mic needs to be in the correct position.
12-12. Double up setup on the CT side. MSL has picked it up as well. Can also op, but is way more of a turret kind of op, holding one position down and then rotating off if he misses the shot. Where Mertz is much more like a flicky type who can go for opening duels. The CT side connector smoke was not opted for this time around. He was lining up for it, but looks like he didn't go for it. And now with mid control being taken, surely has to be thrown down.
Valde, good damage, but has to back away from the fight due to the risks on the top mid player, so he's not able to fully get the kill. It would have been Brolon going down too, which is a major asset to Red Reserve.
Oh, MSL. No!
No, misses the window, so he goes down to Hampus. And that's going to be an open ticket, basically, for Red Reserve to walk right in. Valde quickly rotates. They don't expect him, so he does sneak the kill off against Hampus. Now it's on Kjærby, though, and he also runs into a wall. Gets knocked out by Brolon because of that. 3v2, Red Reserve with the advantage and the site control. And even worse for North, they've got a very one-dimensional retake right now. Everybody's just coming in for market. They don't have anyone lurking through mid.
Exactly, it's the problem. And the timing there on Mertz not allowed to get that peek. Oh, the messed up Molotov. Luckily, AC comes in. That could be the saving grace in this round for North. He's trying to make it work one more. Now it's all on Twisted. He will be taken out. AC with the 3K. 13-12.
North back in control of the lead now. North realized, I think, this was turning into a dire situation for them once the game got tied up. So they've really kicked it into high gear now, and they're looking for the shutdown. Easy, of course.
That final frag.
Yeah. Great job this positioning right there. Big risk in taking that kind of a position because you are out in the open. If you end up at a losing angle against one of your opponents, then you are a dead man more than likely. This
is such an interesting round as well, because if Red Reserve lose this, 2 of the players can force by AK without armor.
God. What, AZ? 3, now 4 from AZ as he just completely destroys the offensive, and Mertz quickly gets the 5th kill as well. North back in control now, and just a few more away from map and series victory.
That has to be the swing round. That round right there from AZ and the backup he gets, that has to be the swing round. Not just economically, but also shutting them down. This was a full buy, or at least the best buy they can get on Godsend. He shuts them down completely. Self-confidence must be demolished on the Swedish side right now.
All while the flames hide his body and make it incredibly difficult for them to respond to that as well.
Instant timeout as well after that.
No choice in that situation but to just relax, decompress after a very upsetting round for the Red Reserve and their fans in the audience.
And you can see Nasu, this is where he needs to come in and say something. I've seen 1 or 2 timeouts where he actually feels like he doesn't need to say anything because the team are handling it. Here he needs to step in and mentally reset them after that.
All right, well, here we go. Red Reserve on a full reset, by the way, as they're just going to be forced to go for a half buy this time around. 4 pieces of armor and just upgraded pistols besides that. Only 1 smoke and 1 flash as well, so pretty much 0 utility for any kind of sight take.
Spray down to Freddy. First man gone down. Twist. Quick to answer back.
AZ just as quick on his own response, though, knocking out Hampus and leaving Twist, Disco Doppelin, and Brolon all spread out pretty heavily too, so there's not a lot of room for trades right now if Red Reserve loses any additional players.
That's the play. But now Disco Doppelin to open up with the Desert Eagle. Rotations coming in. for the CT side as the smoke lands. Should be the split A play from the T side. Question is, can they make it happen? As I say that, they actually rotate away.
We're going to have, in a moment though, Red Reserve rotate back into the A-bomb site. Start their push for control here. Mertz ready to stop it. Immediately knocked out Disco Doppelin. Just 2 more standing for the Red Reserve. One of them's going to try to test Mertz again. Nice shot from him, but AZ holds strong at the connector, leaving only Twist in the fight. And of course, all the focus from North soon to be on him, as he'll be knocked out by Mertz, and North will get up to map and series point.
Seems like as this game is heating up, the crowd has found the seats as well. Nice to see all you guys coming out. As we do have the round that could potentially end this game. Red Reserve needs to bounce straight back in and take 3 rounds in a row to take us to OT.
That's what's scary though, is the Red Reserve are not that far behind.
Yeah,
they've got
this could happen.
They didn't completely screw over their economy, so they've got a good buy going into what could be the final round right here. But if they come in and they kick it into high gear and win out this round, all right, the game is immediately back on.
North needs to make 0 mistakes now.
Oh, that's a good way to start it.
AZ.
Yeah, AZ with a clutch shot, knocks out Brolon. MSL finding one on himself too. Now I think of the double up setup.
The turret B up from MSL. Pays off once again. And Twist now trying to find an opening. Will be shut down by Kirby. Only 2 players remaining now for Red Reserve.
Disco Doppelin and Freddie B trying to bring this back, hoping that they can stay alive in this situation, but no, an instant trade is found by Valde, and now Disco Doppelin trapped in mid. A nice split, granted, but it's not enough. AZ knocks him out, and North will take control of the series. 16-12 is the final score on that number 3, and they're moving on to their surviving best of 3 later on today.
What a game, and what a game by AC specifically on that Mirage. 28-13 for AC. And this is what North needed. They needed him to step up. MSL merged with the ops as well. That double op setup in the end worked out very, very nicely. North surviving yet another day.
Absolutely. So we will be seeing them play a little bit later today as they work to get themselves out of the group and into the playoff bracket. But unfortunately for the Red Reserve, for the Swedish fans out there, they are going to be our first team eliminated here at DreamHack Summer.
Yeah, commiserations to them. They did pull out a really good game, pulled it to the 3rd map as well. So definitely some potential for this team to grow in the future.
Absolutely. And of course, I mean, great performance from them across the board. Almost a comeback there towards the end. Got very close towards it. Even took the lead for a round or 2 at one point there as well, but kind of lost momentum. North had a really great tack pause towards the end of the game that they came back from and really kicked into the high gear at that point. They realized what was on the line and made sure to quickly close out that match.
All right, the match is done. I only have one question left. That's like AC with the 30 bomb. What do the analysts think about that?
I'm very excited to see it, and AZ putting on a performance like that, showing glimmers of his former self. Potentially a side of him that's still locked inside somewhere and that at moments breaks out like we just saw on Mirage.
And you know what's super annoying about that? We see glimmers of it, I would say fairly frequently. Like it's one every 10 game, you know, AC stepping up to the old level he once had. And he was, like, what made him such a great player back then was he did this every single game. Now, for some reason, he's not able to do that consistently. So it's I don't know what it is, maybe a bad habit or something in his mind, you know, but AC is able to do it. He has the skill sets to do it. It's just such a shame he's not able to do it consistently, because North, with AC on fire, with Mertz on fire, you know, this is a team with great skill players that should be able to win a matchup like this much easier than it did Dust.
Yeah, Dust, do you agree then that in that sense, if North's individual parts are playing off against each other in a good way, that matches like this should be an easier run for them?
Yeah, I mean, it really should be. I mean, and to be granted, like, AZ and Mertz have stepped up their game really ever since, like, March. Like, when they had that Best at Masters, like, 2nd place finish and, you know, Tour, Star Ladder, this event now, you have seen an uptick in the form of AZ in particular. Woo! And we're seeing him just put on a highlight reel here on Nuke, and that was a really quick game for North. There's really not much to talk about here. Overpass, definitely a tighter game that we did see Red Reserve ultimately being able to take, but it was really the AZ story on Mirage, which we're going to get to next. Where, yeah, he had a massive scoreline, but he's also just kind of like the guardian angel of North, because they were really struggling towards the end of that Mirage game. At one point, it was tied 11-all. It wasn't looking good. North lost like a big 5 versus 3 situation. Red Reserve are looking to take an edge, but you had AZ win a really big retake on the B-bomb site, which we'll see soon, and then we just see AZ right there with that 4K spray down that basically wrecked Red Reserve's money for the rest of the game once it was 14-12, and there was no way for Red Reserve to come back. So AZ literally saved the day on Mirage.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to only talk about him, but maybe a point to kind of round things off with regards to Philip is that play that we just saw at the end of the highlight package with the Molotov and pushing into it, and you know the T's Red Reserve were on like a decent buy. They had their AKs out, and I haven't seen something like that from him in a while. A play that really takes some audacity and some aggression, where he's going straight in front of that molly, looking to see if he can spot ahead, and he boom, boom, and he gets 4.
That's what's so fun about watching AC plays, because you can clearly see him playing with confidence and when he's playing with no confidence. As you said out there, you know, it looks like the AC back in the days where he just is full of confidence, because he's able to pull off those plays. He's skilled enough to do it. He's clever enough to do it. He has his mechanic in the game as well. We saw Clutch and Overpass as well, showcasing how well he's actually working with the mechanics in the game. It's just, you know, I don't know what it is. It frustrates me, and it must be frustrating him and his teammates obviously as well, because AC is a very skilled player. It's just not able to pull it off all the time.
Definitely. Thank you, Pimp and Dust. Now let's talk to Ave. Maybe we can get some extra light shone on things from the man himself. Mike, okay, you were helping AZ during the match, and now it looks like someone's fiddling with your mic.
Yeah, it happens. We have have to do some adjustments to our microphones when we sit in the booth like that.
A very hands-on coach in and out of game. Ave, tell us then what the approach was for Red Reserve. To some extent, we're slightly surprised that it went those 3 maps and some moments during those games that you let slip.
Yeah, we were a bit surprised that we had the same veto as we had against them at Star Series. So we were confident going in. We really like Nuke against them. They are not that confident on it, and it shows, I think. So it was kind of the same game plan on Nuke, at least. Then on Overpass, we tried to mix some things up because we expected them to play differently, because they lost it against us last time, and now they picked it again. Unfortunately, I think we confused ourselves a little bit. So that's the story on Overpass. I think Mirage was we didn't really prepare that much on it. We just played our own game, and AC came out clutch in the end. That was real nice.
Yeah, final question from myself before I hand over to my friends is with regards to Philip. When you see him playing on a map like he just did on Mirage, don't get me wrong, Valdo, I think overall had a better performance throughout the series, but with regards to Philip there, it looked like from our perspective he was finding some of that old fire that we all know he has inside him. And I was wondering if, firstly, you agree or identify the same, and if so, what's different for him in a moment like that?
Yeah, he's playing really nice in practice, so it's so nice to see it pay off in official games. I think maybe he has been a bit affected psychologically by having a bad game, and that affects his next match. That's something we talked about a little bit, and it's nice to see it finally get better in officials as well.
Pimp, Dust.
I sort of want to pick your brain a little bit right here, because it feels to me like when you look at your lineup, when you look at the players, and when you look at yourself for that matter, like the whole structure behind North is so strong, right? You haven't been able to pull it off completely yet with some a string of nice results. Is there anything that you think is a reason for that, or is it just a matter of time before you integrate all the players into the team, or what is going on with your camp right now?
Yeah, we definitely play a structured brand of Counter-Strike. I think against some teams it hurts us a little bit, so it's about finding the right balance and playing the right style against the right opponent. I feel we are getting better each event. We didn't have like the big results yet, but I think a lot of other top teams like Mouse Sports, it just takes a while sometimes to get the results you expect or want.
So you're not looking into changing any players or anything?
No, definitely not.
So I actually had 2 questions, if possible. So the first question would just be, we have noticed recently that AZ and Mertz have seemingly gotten more comfortable, and we seem to be seeing them perform better individually. Has there been something specific that you have done to kind of foster that, or do you think it's just like chance, or what do you attribute this to?
Yeah, we talk a lot about our officials, and I think it pays off in the end. We play good in practice most of the time, so it's just about getting closer to how we practice, really. We talk about practice makes habit all the time, so we just want it to be so integrated in us that when we get to the officials, it's just another game, actually, really.
Yeah, then my last question was just, at one point you guys were down 12-11 on this Mirage game, which was a decider to see who was going to move on in this tournament after having just lost like a big 5 versus 3 round, which was a huge loss. What were you guys able to do to kind of tie the game back up and eventually take the win? Like, what adjustment was made there after losing that round?
Yeah, it was a kind of stomach, what did you call it?
Feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling in the stomach.
Yeah, and it took a while for us to come back, but in the end, AC pulled off those crazy rounds, and the mood was really set for just closing it out quickly.
Thank you, Ave, for your time. It feels like going with your gut feeling paid off. We'll see you later today. All right, Pimp and Dust, that'll be it from us for now. An exciting way to start off day here at DreamHack Summer 2018. Up next, you don't want to miss what's to come. But firstly, let me tell you about the Strafe Esports app. If you like the extra details, like to keep up to date with the nitty-gritty of what's going on in all esports, and of course Counter-Strike, you can head on over to it and try it out. Now, don't go anywhere. After the break, we have the Renegades going up against Gambit. These guys squared off recently, and now we get to see it again. It's going to be something you do not want to miss.